Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual workshop on scientific writing. Today, we'll be explaining each and every details about how to start preparing a paper, to select the journal, to know the journal matrices, to find the appropriate journal according to your research, and then to respond to reviewer comments and all that. Okay. I'm Suman Dhungel from Nepomics Biotech. I'm the managing director of this Biotech, and as you all know, Nepomics Biotech has been doing um, workshop, particularly in silico workshop, in silico training, as well as different workshops and webinars with regards to bioinformatics as well as drug designing. And we do have multiple products that has been developed through validated scientific methods. You can follow our website. You can send an email if you are interested in any workshop or all that. So let's proceed with the presentation. We have Actually, I've divided this presentation into two different parts. In the first section, I'll be explaining the introduction of all of these things. For example, how to what is the importance of scientific writing, first of all, and then different contents are there, um, journal matrices, to knowing the journal matrices and all that. So let's proceed with the presentation. And in between that time, if you have any kind of queries, then you can just put forward into the chat box. We'll be responding that as well. And at the end of each presentation, I'll give you some time to put on your queries, and we will be discussing that as well. And after my presentation, Dr. Sarah Junaid will be presenting one more presentation about different AI tools involved in scientific writing, as well as um, she is running a journal in Pakistan. So she will be explaining each and everything what she has been facing there. So basically, this is um, truly a experience that has brought into this workshop. So we'll be explaining each and everything. We'll be sharing our experience, and then if you have gone through different experience, you can also share that. Okay, so let's proceed with the presentation. So let's get started with the presentation. First of all, let's know the importance of scientific writing. So let me share one experience, or you can see you may have gone through this as well. For example, if you are doing some research work that is different to your peers or whatever you have seen around you, okay, and then you come into the doubt that whether this research gets validated, or whether I'm doing it right or not. So in that case as well, when you prepare a manuscript and submit it to the journal, then the journal will take that into the peer review if it is a quality research, okay, and then you'll get a comments, you'll get a compliment as well. So in that case, if you get a paper published, then you will that will boost your confidence, okay. So to make yourself confident as well, it is so much important, because getting a confidence always better in research and development, okay. So you can go further into the development, you can go further into the IPR thing as well. So you can get a patent from that as well. So it is very important to get a paper published, okay. So in that case, scientific writing is very essential, okay. And then next is it also gains the recognition, okay. You can share your ideas, you can share your research through papers, okay, articles. So that is also another point of scientific writing. And next is it also reflects the credibility of the research, okay, importance of research, whatever you have put further into your experiments and the results that you have obtained, okay. That is very important. And if you have a quality research work, then it gets published into the reputed journal, okay. We'll be talking about different publishers as well as some of the important journal later. So that is the thing. And unless you share your research work through papers or wherever you are doing there, right there, um, um, people will not recognize you, okay. So for the recognition as well, for um, uh, making you available into the public for your with respect to your research, okay, it is very important to get a paper published. So in this case, scientific writing is very much important. And next is, let's talk about the different topics that we are going to discuss today. So here we will be talking about preparation of scientific manuscript, understanding the different journal matrices that is important to finding a journal as well, and selecting the right journal, managing the submission process. We go through different different steps in submission. So we'll be talking about the different steps involved in submission, as well as addressing reviewers feedback. As I've already told you, um, if your paper is good enough for the journal, they will take that towards review. Okay, they will assign different reviewers there, and the reviewers is the expert of that field, so they will give you some comments as well. So according to that comment, you need to address those comments and send it back to the publishers, or you can say journal. Okay, and then you'll get your paper published by different process. And then we'll also be talking about the different ethics involved in publication that we need to maintain. Okay, let's talk about the flow of scientific publication. So it gives the basic idea how to get a paper published, or what are different steps involved in publication. Okay, first of all, you need to select the journal, the right journal, that you can say a match. Finding a match is always difficult in this case. So you need to go through different you can say you need to fulfill different steps to find a perfect journal. Okay, you'll be analyzing different sort of factors that affect your research publication. So you need to select the right journal initially, and then you can prepare your manuscript. You can draft your manuscript according to the journal. Okay, there are different guidelines involved in preparation of manuscript, so it depends upon the different journal. Okay, so in that way you can prepare a manuscript, you can draft a manuscript. Okay, there are different you can say parts in manuscript, what we call is argument. So we'll be talking about different parts involve different topics, or you can say headings, or you can say contents in manuscript later. Okay, so next is after you draft your manuscript, you need to submit the manuscript. Okay, there are two different you can say a way to submit your manuscript. In low quality journals, they do communicate through email as well, but in the high quality journals, you will get a submission portal. So through that submission portal, you can submit your manuscript, and then it will go through several different steps. And then as I've already told you, the reviewers comments are very much important, or the peer review is very much important in scientific publication. They will give you a comments, you will address that comments, and then that will take on further for publication if all the things goes fine. Okay, and let's talk about how to convert your thesis into a manuscript. So in a scientific manuscript, there are different parts. Okay, there are different you can say headings or different contents involved. Okay, so let's talk about that. So first of all, it's a title. Okay, each and every manuscript, it has a title. Okay, you need to put a concise and descriptive title. Okay, the title itself needs to describe your research work. Okay, it needs to be short and you can say descriptive as well. And then the author's name as well as affiliation. So in the research work, we do have multiple authors involved in the research. So the name, and then their affiliation. Okay, where they belong to, where they are working, that is very important thing. So you need to mention the name as well as affiliation after the title. And then nowadays journal, they require ORCID number as well. ORCID is a database where you can create your account, and then you can put your you can say a biography about yourself. Okay, your working experience, your published articles and all that. So they will give you one reference number, and that the reference number is very much important to finding any researcher into your field. So you need to add a ORCID reference number into this section as well. And next is corresponding author. So there are different authors involved in the research work. The first author, who is the most important person into the research work, and then the corresponding author, who is the supervisor, or you can see who is the correspondence that do all of the things with regards to preparation, submission, and responding the comments as well. So you need to clearly mention who is corresponding author, and mention his or her email, or you can say the clear affiliation as well. So that is the thing. Next is that will leads to the starting of the abstract now. So abstract is a summary of the manuscript. Okay, or you can say the research work. So you need to clearly write what you have done into the research. Okay, so it needs to be clear, concise, as well as it needs to be impressive as well, so that the readers get impressed to read your argument section, okay, or you can say the body of manuscript. That's why the abstract needs to be clear. And then after the abstract, you can put some keywords as well. So based on the journal guidelines, can be 4 or 5 different keywords that you can put further there, okay, and then you can close the session in this way, okay, of abstract. Now let's talk about introduction. So introduction is the portion where you introduce your research work along with various other multiple research that has been conducted into that particular topic, okay, and then you need to mention the objective as well as research problems as well as significance, okay, into the introduction section. And then next come materials and methods. So in this, you need to mention the details about your methodology that has been used in the research, and make sure that you write it in a very clear way that can be reproducible for other researchers, okay. That is what we need to um, think about, okay, the reproducibility. If the methods and material section is not fully understood, or it is not reproducible in nature, then it doesn't make sense for a scientific community, okay. That is the point to be point to be taken into. And next is result and discussion. So whatever you have found into the research, you need to explain each and every details into the result and discussion section. You need to present your findings, and then you need to compile all of those things into a great flow, okay. The flow needs to be maintained. And in the discussion, you can compare your research work into multiple published papers in that particular topic, and then based on that you can draw a conclusion, okay. In the conclusion section, you need to summarize each and every things. You can compare your work into others, and then you need to summarize, okay. You cannot just write the comparison in some conclusion section. Actually, conclusion section is the summary of your findings only, okay. And then the reference section. So whatever you have compared your paper, your research work into another's, or write the basic of your research work, then you just need to put the citation, you need to put the references at the last of your manuscript, okay. And then you can use different tools, online tools, for example Mendeley or EndNote or any other tools, to make it more you can say a format in the standard way, okay. And then each and every journals, they have a standard format, okay. You need to follow that format as well. And okay, in this section we also need to know about the flow of writing, okay. So for example, in the material method section, you have written in one flow, okay. In first chapter, in the first headings, you've gone through A, in the second you gone through B, and in that way, okay. So if you have gone through that flow, then in the result section as well, you need to follow the same flow, okay. For example, you cannot just move on to we cannot just start writing the results of B and then A and then that way. So do not mess the things there, okay. You just need to follow the correct flow of your scientific research into the writing as well. So next is the different matrices that impacts the journal, okay. So these are the matrices. For example, impact factor, quartiles, Mango journal rank, H index, I10 index, ASJR, SNIP, and all that. So let's talk about those matrices. So these matrices are very much important to finding a right journal, and then find the reputation of journal as well. So we all talk about the impact factor. So impact factor is ratio, or you can say the ratio of number of citation to the total number of citable article, okay. And it reflects those paper published in a particular year, for which the article published in previous 2 year, okay. Now number of citations in a given year to the articles that is in published in last 2 years, to the total number of citations, okay. Citable articles, total number of citable articles published in this 2 years. So that means it is a ratio of the citation, total number of citation to total number of paper in 2 years time period, okay. For example, if you find a journal having an impact factor of you can say 2 in 2024, then you need to think that it has the citation impact factor, you need to think that it has been published in 2 year period, and in 2024 it has got this much citation and the number of paper is this much. So in that case you can evaluate the impact factor. And journals, they do have 5 years impact factor as well. So the it is quite important as well to find the 5 years impact factor. So how the journal have performed, how much okay citation they got, or you can see the citation can reflect the journal popularity in the particular field as well. So next is quartile. So based on the quality of journals, the journals are ranked into different quartiles. Okay, um, 25% of journals they ranked on Q1, and next 25 to 50% of journal they are ranked in Q2, and 75% of journal falls under Q3, and so on. Okay, in this way you can find the quality of that journal to the particular field as well. And next is ACR, that is SciMango Journal Rank ACR. So SciMango is a database. Okay, actually it is a database, and it measures the journal influence, okay, the journal's impact into the different field. So that is very important to find ACR value as well. Okay, so it is based on the Scopus data. Okay, Scopus data is a database system. Okay, you can see the ACR values in the journal matrix section. And next is H index. Okay, H index is clearly defines the impact of that published work. Okay, so apart from that there is citation score as well. So the citation score is also calculated in the number, and it is given for the 4 years time period. Okay, how much um, the work has been cited there. Okay, and next important thing about the journal matrix is SNIP as well. So SNIP is defined as a source normalized impact per paper. Okay, per paper, how much impact that has created, okay, into the scientific community, it calculates in this way. And H index, we all have talked about H index. I index is a similar kind of index, that is the impact of research into the particular field. Okay, so we all need to consider this kind of matrices while selecting a journal. Okay, next is finding the right journal. As I have already told you, the finding a right journal is always an important thing to do, and it is very difficult as well. um, but when you take care of all of the things, then you can easily find the right journal. Okay, so first of all you need to go through journal scope and audience, or you can see the scope is given into the website of that journal. Okay, you can go through that, and then you can find what kind of paper do they accept, or you can say what are the different um, field they are focused on. You can find it, and you can select that particular journal. And next is you can also go through the recently published articles into that particular journal and find out what are the different areas they are looking for. Okay, and what kind of paper they are accepting. So you can just go through that. And then next is you also need to evaluate the matrices, and then the indexing as well, where they are keeping their published paper. Okay, Scopus, PubMed, Web of Science, these are all the databases. Okay, so you also need to know about the indexing, and then different matrices that we have already discussed about. And then you can also use some online tools, for example journal finder. Okay, each and every publishers, they have a journal finder into their web page. You can go there, you can paste your abstract, or you can also put the keywords on your research, and then the system will suggest you some you can say the closely related journals, and based on that you can select the appropriate one. Okay, next is submission process. So how the submission process works, and how can you prepare different files for the submission process. We'll be talking about this in this particular slide. So first of all, you need to format the scientific manuscript based on the journal's guideline. Okay, so each and every journal, they have their own guideline. Okay, you just need to go through Ames and Scope and guidelines for author section there, and you can find the guideline there, and you can just prepare based on that guideline. And as we all know, there are a lot of files in there are a lot of results and files that are included in the research, and all are not you can say we cannot just put each and everything into the manuscript. Okay, so there can be some supplementary file as well. Okay, you can if you think they are not important in the manuscript body, then you can prepare a supplementary file, and then you can prepare, and then you can just upload that into the submission. Okay, and then next is you need to prepare a cover letter, you need to prepare a research highlight, graphical abstract, and author's contribution as well. So mm, initially, if you are working as a corresponding author, then you just need to prepare a cover letter mentioning what are the different impact, what are the different things that you have done in this research, or highlights only. Okay, and then what can be its impact as well, and then you can just write the you can say consent of all of the authors there as well, and then you can just submit that alongside the manuscript. And then you also need to write the research highlights. Okay, what are the impact, what are the major highlights of your research, what are the impacts that you have seen through your research work, and what are the different outcomes that have been um, resulted. Okay, you can summarize those things in the bullet, and then you can just paste that. Okay, and then you can prepare a separate file and upload it. And next is graphical abstract. To make your research look good, you can prepare a graphical abstract and then you can upload it. And then later is we have already discussed about the number of authors involved in the research, so you can just put the contribution there. You can mention what they have contributed to the research, and then you can just upload that file as well. And next is, so another important thing is conflict of interest disclosure. Okay, you need, if you need to disclose, you need to actually um, uh, you need to submit one letter, or you can say one document that include each and authority, or you can say the consent letter of each and every authors, so um, that will no create that will not create any kind of confusion into the editorial board. So that is the major thing. And if you have such kind of if you miss those things, then they will think that there has some conflict of interest, or there's some problem in the authorship as well, so that will create some problem. So to avoid that, you can just put that document into the submission portal as well. Next is I've already told you there are two different modes, but actually in the reputed journal they have a submission portal, so you can go through submission portal and submit your manuscript. And next is you can track, they will give you a tracking ID. Okay, they'll provide you a ID of your manuscript. Okay, submitted manuscript, you can track through that tracking ID, and then you can see where your manuscript has been taken into. Okay, different steps of um, you can say publication. And the most important thing is um, formatting. Okay, you need to double check the formatting before submission, and then do not mess things there. Don't just mess things. Okay, do not just um, you can say do not rush things actually, and then take your time, and then go for a double check, uh, look for each and everything there. And then you can also use grammarly for language editing. Okay, you can just paraphrase. If you think it's too long, you can just paraphrase it, or you can just modify the sentences. Do not use vague words over there. Okay, that is the thing. Next is responding to reviewers comments. So you need to be more professional. Okay, you need to stay professional at this point of time. Okay, and then you just need to avoid defensive responses as well. You cannot just agree with each and everything. Okay, so do not do that. If you're confident enough of your if you're confident enough for your research work, then you can just mention that these are the things that we have done and it has this impact and so on. Okay, you can respond in a polite way, and then you need to address each and every comments clearly and in detail, and then you can highlight the changes that you have made into the revised manuscript. Also, we'll be talking about this in the later slide as well. And then you just need to provide the evidence to support disagreement if you have. Okay, it is not necessary that you need to agree with each and every comments of the reviewer, so you can also put a disagreement in a gentle way. Okay, that is the thing. And then you can prepare a separate word file, and you can convert it to PDF later. You can prepare a word file, and then you can highlight the change you have made into the main body, and then you can put the response there. Okay, response document. And let's talk about the ethics and publication. So there are different ethics involved in publication. Actually, scientific ethics is directly linked with moral ethics. So if you maintain your moral ethics in scientific research, then there is no any problem. So let's talk about different ethics that is involved in publication. Okay, first is plagiarism. So if you duplicate whatever the work have been already done, then that is called a plagiarism. Okay, so we need to avoid plagiarism, not just in research, but also in writing as well. So you cannot just write each and everything that isn't done before, or you
Good
just
evening,
cannot
everyone.
copy each and
Welcome to the
everything from the body of any research work. Okay, so you need to avoid these things. Next is authorship. So you need to acknowledge each and every contributors into the research, and then accurately mention their name and everything. Okay, next is data integrity. So you need to present the most important and reliable data only. Okay, do not write each and everything into the manuscript. Do not write a false data there. Okay, and then next is conflict of interest. You need to disclose any kind of bias involved into the research work very transparently. Okay, for example, adding authors removal of authors or all that. Okay, next is if you mess with these things, or if you violate these things, then the violation can result in loss of your credible research work, as well as ban from the journal. You can say you cannot lose your research, but you will lose your credibility. Okay, and then they will not allow you to submit your paper again in that particular journal. So to avoid that, you need to maintain the ethics and publication. Okay, this is most important thing. Okay, so let's talk about the different top scientific publishers. Okay, actually, it is ranked on different factors that we have already talked about, matrices and all that. So it is ranked, and then we are not talking about this first one is highly ranked on all that. Okay, we are not talking about the rank here, but these are the top publishers actually in different field of science. So you can say Springer Nature, PLOS, MDPI, Taylor and Francis, Willy Brackell. These are the major publisher Elsevier, and there are a lot of journals in this publication. Okay, Springer Nature, they have a lot of journals, plus they have a lot of journals. MDPI do have a lot of journals. Okay, you can select one of the journals and you can proceed your research work. So this is all about the presentation. So we are Nepomics Biotech. Actually, I've already told you that we have been doing work on natural product drug discovery, and then we have been conducting a lot of online programs, workshop, and webinars on biotechnology, and especially in bioinformatics, focusing on drug designing. If you are interested in our work, then you can send your email. You can also collaborate with us. You can go through our website and then see what we have been doing, and then by the mutual coordination, we can help you grow further into the academics as well as professional life. So do contact us if you wish to. Thank you. And if you have any questions, then you can arise in between it. Okay.